The first presentation this year is for Honorary Lifetime Membership Award, and this is reserved for individuals who've made extraordinary contributions to the porous media community, whether this is through science or technology. The winner of these awards are world renowned in the porous media community, and they also have worked on and done activities that are consistent with the goals of InterPore and the ideals, which is the interdisciplinary approach to porous media research. We are pleased to announce the winner this year is Professor Harifa Regan. He's the 2020 Honorary Lifetime Membership Award winner. And he will be introduced by Professor Van Gunutkin, who nominated him for this award. Now we have a video of Professor Van Gunutkin's nomination of Professor Verrican. One moment here as let me just pause my PowerPoint at this point. I apologize.
Would you like me to get it real quick?
Yeah, let's see if I can. Yes, I would like Christy to assist me with the link. I'm going to stop sharing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, one moment. Do you see it now?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Hello, I am Rien Van Gunutkin, and it's my absolute pleasure to introduce Harifa Regan as our recipient of InterPore's Honorary Membership Award. For the past 30 years or more, Hari has contributed in very significant ways to the current state of the art in soil, hydrogeologic, and environmental engineering. Actually, I first learned of Hari's work in the late 1980s, when I was an external examiner of his PhD thesis in Belgium. And at that time, he focused on the hydraulic functions of heterogeneous, unsaturated media. And very significant at that time, certainly for me, was his development of Peter transfer functions to estimate the hydraulic properties of unsaturated media using soil survey data, and how then to use those functions in flow and transport models he developed, and ultimately to address a range of soil and groundwater pollution problems. Hari's endeavors in research only accelerated when then he moved to FC Jülich in Germany in the early 1990s. He also became a professor in nearby Bonn. So in Jülich he established a very well-known center of excellence in hydrology, hydrogeophysics, and modeling. And particularly impressive to me has always been his work on a range of hydrogeophysical and data assimilation technologies, and that to enable the characterization, quantification of large-scale soil and groundwater systems. That also includes his work with Torino and other networks that facilitate long-term multidisciplinary analysis of terrestrial systems. And his publication list and CV in this are very impressive indeed and speak for themselves. And I included here two links to his pub lists. Equally important as his personal and team research has always Hari's contribution to the profession. And he participated, and I can list here, an endless array of committees, working groups, conferences, reviews, advisory panels, special sessions of meetings, and so on, including journal editorship, and that also involved our Verrican journal, and of course also his long-term efforts in student education. In all of this, his contributions to Porous Media Science are very much consistent with the aims and ideals of InterPore society. So Hari, congratulations, and on behalf of InterPore society and the soil and hydrogeologic community in general, our congratulations for being the 220 recipient of InterPore's Honorary Membership Award. You are more than deserving.
Thank you. And we'll now hear from Professor Verrican himself.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks to Rin for the kind words when citing me. Dear colleagues and friends, and dear Porous Media scientists, first of all, let me thank the members of the award committee for selecting me and Rin for nominating me. I feel honored and utmost grateful in receiving this distinction. I also want to take the opportunity to thank several people who played an important role in my career. In 1985, at that time I was in my second year PhD at the University of Leuven, working on the estimation of soil hydrodynamic parameters from soil properties. I posted a handwritten letter to Rin at the US Salinity Lab and asking him for his RATC code. It was the first code able to estimate the parameters in the Moalen van Genuchten model using measured retention data. And after a few weeks, I received a brown envelope containing his famous report and a floppy disk with the code. And as probably many of you experienced, it ran after compilation without any problem on my computer, and was a starting point for my analysis and development of Peter transfer functions for Belgian soils. Rin continued to follow up my work and invited me to his first workshop in Riverside in '89 on indirect methods for estimating the hydraulic properties of unsaturated soils. Most likely some of you attended that meeting, which opened a completely new world to me. I was impressed by Rin's insight in flow and solute transport in porous media, his quantitative mathematical rigor, but also his openness and engagement in supporting young researchers. And after having attended that meeting and spending 3 months with Jeff Wegener at Cornell, I decided to stay in research. My gratitude also goes to my promoter, Jan Feyen. I admired Jan's visionary view in identifying novel research questions, but also his perseverance in achieving self-set goals and his enormous working energy. I experienced in my career that besides creativity and intellectual capabilities, believing in what you are doing and persevering in it is key to success. At the time I wrote my PhD, the importance of soil physics and the need to estimate soil hydraulic parameters for global scale problems was not on the agenda, as we focused on pore to field scale processes. Currently, understanding the physics of water, energy and mass transport in soils, and knowledge of its basic material properties are key in addressing global challenges such as climate change, environmental protection, securing food production, but also producing new materials. Studies of porous media processes now bridges scales from micrometers to the global scale. In this respect, InterPore plays an important role in bringing together scales and disciplines. I want to thank the many colleagues with whom I had the privilege to work with. Cooperation and collaboration is an essential ingredient of our research and key in moving forward our science. I benefited strongly from close interaction with colleagues and staff at the Agrosphere Institute, working on hydrogeophysics, the physics of porous media, modeling root systems, and developing soil moisture measurement techniques. My sincere thanks go to Jan van der Borg, Sander Huisman, Lutz Weiermuller, Jan van der Kruk, Haya Bogena, Andreas Schneff, Karsten Manska, and Thomas Putz. In recent years, I closely interacted with Michael Young and Danny Warren in establishing ISMEC, the International Soil Modeling Consortium, and with Jan Hopmans, Danny and Michael in shaping and moving forward Vedison Journal. Thank you all for the opportunities and support that I've received. I have been lucky having such great colleagues and friends.
Dr. Nolte, you're still on mute, please.
Hello, everybody. My name is...
Dr. Oleg, just 1 minute. Dr. Nolte was finishing what she needed to say. She's still on mute.
Sorry?
Here. Oh,
Oh,
try one more time. Dr. Nolte, try one more time, please.
Am I unmuted? Yes.
There, that's better. Thank you.
Okay, it keeps going back and forth. At this time, I was thanking Professor Verrican for his nice acceptance speech. If we were in person, we would give everyone a round of applause at this point. And before we go on to our first keynote address, again, I just wanted to thank our sponsors, Kimberly-Clark, Shell, Zeiss, Thermo Fisher Scientific, TestScan, IFP Nouvelles, and Canon. And now I turn over the session to Oleg.